Hi everyone! Life has been pretty crazy lately. My husband finally graduated from law school, which basically turned the entire week into one long celebration. Between graduation photos, great food, and non-stop events, there was a lot happening, so I thought I would bring you along for the week. We started with an early morning graduation photo shoot around DC. We hit the US Capitol and the Washington Monument right at sunrise. Taking graduation photos is honestly a workout. You are carrying flowers, cameras, bags, and somehow trying to find the perfect lighting while running all over the city. But graduation season in DC is pretty special. Everywhere you look, people are celebrating, taking photos, and getting ready for their next chapter. The next day, we slowed things down a bit and checked out a Nepalese restaurant that a friend recommended. Later, we visited one of the DC's newest Uyghur restaurants. Let's just say this meal was very meat forward. Lamb, beef, chicken, noodles. Our table was absolutely packed. After that, we finally made it to the Press Club, one of DC's most talked about cocktail bars. It recently landed on North America's best bars list as well. After visiting, I totally understand the hype. The following night, we stopped by a French bistro in Georgetown for cocktails, French classics, and escargot. Every time I eat escargot, I reminded that humans will turn literally anything into food. Then came one of my favorite meals of the week. It's called Lapis, an Afghan restaurant in DC. The lamb was incredible, the rice was amazing, and everything on the table disappeared almost immediately. One of my favorite things about DC is how international the food scene is. In a long single week, it feels like you can travel around the world without ever leaving the city. After all that eating, we decided it was probably time to do something a little more productive. One afternoon, a friend brought a bottle of wine from France, so we put together a simple cheese board and spent the afternoon catching up. Nothing fancy, just good wine, good food, and a good conversation. As graduation week got closer, Georgetown Law hosted a reception for graduates, families, and friends. At this point, it felt like every day came with another event, another celebration, and another excuse to dress up and take photos. We also had friends visiting from different cities. One of them just graduated from Harvard, and somewhere everyone ended up in DC at the same time. Then something pretty unexpected happened. While walking around campus, we spotted Jerome Powell. Yes, that Jerome Powell. For a second, I genuinely wasn't sure if it was him. I had to look twice. I guess that's one of the funny things about living in DC. You never really know who you might run into. To celebrate, we headed to one of our favorite Korean restaurants in Virginia called Hangang. And as usual, we ordered way too much food. Seafood pancakes, bibimbap, braised beef, soups, and enough side dishes to completely cover the table. I think Korean food might be one of the best cuisines for group dinners. Everything is meant to be shared, and somehow the table always ends up looking amazing. Then, before we knew it, graduation day had finally arrived. The ceremony didn't start until the afternoon, but somehow the entire day felt busy from the moment we woke up. There were flowers to pick up, photos to take, family members to coordinate, and of course, DC traffic to deal with. By the time we arrived on campus, the atmosphere was incredible. Everywhere you looked, there were graduates in gowns, proud families taking photos, and groups of friends celebrating together. It was also unbelievably hot. I remember checking the weather and wondering why graduation always seemed to happen on the hottest day of the year. But once the ceremony started, none of that really mattered.
We are now seated! Yay! It's very hot. So many people.
Watching everyone walk across the stage felt surreal. After years of classes, exams, recruiting, and late nights, this was finally the moment everyone had been working toward. And somehow, it all went by so fast. One minute we were finding our seats, and the next thing we knew, the ceremony was over. Just like that, law school was officially finished. After a quick break, we headed out for one final celebration at Shukran, one of our favorite restaurants in DC. The food was fantastic, the restaurant was packed, and everyone was still running on pure graduation energy. There were endless stories, toasts, photos, and conversations about what comes next. And sitting there at dinner, I had one of those moments where everything suddenly felt very real. This wasn't just the end of a semester or another school year, it was the end of a chapter. A chapter filled with late night studying, job applications, uncertainties, and a lot of hard work. And now a completely new chapter is about to begin. So that's it for this graduation week vlog. A week filled with great food, amazing friends, lots of celebrations and memories we will probably be talking about for years. Thanks for coming along, and I will see you in the next vlog.